Hey friends. Well, nice early morning here on Christmas Eve, and I found myself reflecting on Christmas, on the holiday spirit. We're watching Christmas movies left and right because that's what we do when we're doing other stuff, getting the house ready or whatever. And Annalise is definitely um, basking in the spirit of the season. and I but I found myself reflecting on, you watch these cheesy movies and they always have, you know a sometimes kind of trite message, but otherwise kind of a nice one, something that brings some heart into this kind of festive season. And so I found myself thinking about gifts. I just found myself thinking about the last year or so and the gifts that I've received and the gifts that I've given. And I began to marvel when I found that the gifts that I've given are the ones that that I also feel I've received. This is again, this is like coming straight out of a Disney Christmas movie yesterday, where she talks about it's not the gifts we get, it's the gifts we give. And that seems so cliche, and it's like Christmas, it's like a Hallmark card. But I started to this morning, we watched this yesterday afternoon, and this morning as I woke up and as I was doing my morning routine, I started to reflect independently on what I've received over the past year, what I've given. And it was really kind of remarkable to go, oh my God, what I've given is what I've received. I mean, of course, I've also received wonderful gifts from people, and kind of ongoing gifts from a number of people, family, loved ones. But it's kind of empowering to recognize that our own generosity is the source of our abundance. That's kind of cool to see in action. And if that's, if we know that, if we take that to heart, then it's like we can lean in even more. We can really give. We can really be generous and be we just become available to stand in a relationship to the world and other people in a way that is even more open, even more more free, even more assured of our own abundance, because we know we are the source of it, and it's just not the ego. The ego is not the source of it, and the ego is not the recipient of it. Ego is neither source nor recipient. Ego is this, collection of patterns that we need to get through the world, but it's not. It's neither the alpha nor the omega of our being. It's somewhere in the middle. It's passing fancy. So that's kind of cool. And again, it's funny to me that some cheesy Christmas movie can evoke something really kind of deep in me, but that's what happened. Well, you can judge if it's deep. It feels deep to me. It feels like there's a level of awareness around generosity and around being in service, being willingly in service. And if as I have sat with my post from yesterday and the what I was talking about yesterday, which was kind of a sense of just connecting with some of the heaviness in the world, some of the needs in the world, and the kind of the possibilities for contributing and hopefully making the world a better place. I think today's message for me is related to that, and is potentially even an outgrowth, although not a conscious one, of that line of thinking. But it makes perfect sense to kind of bring me into an alignment and remind me of how this spiritual mechanism works. It's a good way to go into the holiday. And I think it's also a provocation. I always find that the holidays they're a kind of crucible. I come out after New Year's with a new mission sometimes. Of course, there's the, start of the new year, reframing. It's a chance to sort of upgrade or update our commitments and intentions. But depending on how we spend this time, it's also a chance to be influenced and to be reminded of a larger context. I find it remarkable sometimes how connecting with family, which on some level is one of the narrowest contexts. You know, it's the people closest to us, at least by blood. But how being in that family context often expands my sense of larger context. I haven't quite figured out why it works that way, but it does seem to consistently do that. And I think being reminded of this kind of flash that came through today, being reminded that that what I'm giving and what I have given is what I'm receiving. It's a good reminder. It's a good opening into a larger context. So yeah, I think that's where I've landed this morning on Christmas Eve. This is the calm before the storm. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. Have a great Christmas if you celebrate Christmas, and a wonderful holiday season if not. Much love. I'll see you soon.